happening in Afghanistan and who's really to blame? Now, as United States warns of yet another terror attack at the Kabul airport in the next 24 to 36 hours, there is more and more evidence to show that ISIS Khorasan, the group that was blamed for the Kabul airport attack just a few days ago, is nothing but another front for terror foster parent Pakistan to operate its agenda. There's more and more evidence that is now emerging which shows now that there is a need to name and shame Pakistan. Of course, it's no secret the kind of complicity as far as Pakistan and Taliban's rise is concerned. Pakistan remains the common denominator, be the Taliban, be the Al-Qaeda, or now the ISIS Khorasan, and the facilitator of terror. Pradeep continues to be with me. Now, Pradeep, like I was saying, it's no secret that Pakistan has been linked to the Taliban ever since its rise right in the beginning, right in the 1990s. In this era as well, in Taliban 2.0's rise as well, Pakistan is hand in glove and with all the other terror outfits which are working with the Taliban as well.
See, Poonam, we have to understand one thing. There's nothing in name. The names can change. It can be Taliban, it can be ISIS Khorasan, it can be Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed or Haqqani network. The aim is same, and aim is only to unleash terrorism in the name of jihad, and the masters are sitting in Pakistan. If United States of America is really interested in taking action against perpetrators, they will have to act against Pakistan, because Pakistan continues to remain fountainhead of terror. Look at all these organizations. I think somewhere the Americans are once again committing a mistake what they did in the past, because that time also they started differentiating between good Taliban and bad Taliban. There's nothing called good terrorists and bad terrorists, because all of them had been involved in terror-related activities, because Talibans are nothing but bloodthirsty barbarians who are unleashing terror and tyranny at behest of Pakistan. That's what they had been doing for the last several decades and continuing with the same practice right now also. But right now what is happening is that somewhere Americans, for their vested interests, they're trying to change narrative, blaming only ISIS Khorasan province for the attack, what happened outside the Kabul airport. That way they are absolving somewhere Talibans of the terror-related activities. You must have seen the United Nations Security Council resolution also. What came on 16th is totally different from what is now on 27th. Somewhere the name Taliban has been taken out. That is exactly what has happened with the United Nations High Commission for Refugees also. Right. There was no mention about Taliban. But if Americans are trying to tell the world that Talibans are not responsible, they're completely mistaken, because you see, Taliban
absolutely, and Taliban also cannot wash its hands off. That was the first reaction that came in from the terror group, that we are not responsible as far as the hundreds that were killed outside the Kabul airport just a few days ago. Stay on with me, Pradeep. Strategic Affairs expert Bharat Karnad also with me. Lieutenant General Gurmeet Singh, defense expert, also joins me on this broadcast. Mr. Karnad, I would like to begin with you. Like I was saying, Taliban cannot just wash its hands off what happened in Kabul outside the airport. Hundreds have died in that attack. They said we are not responsible. ISIS Khorasan came and claimed responsibility. But the fact of the matter is that ISIS Khorasan, the Haqqani network and Taliban are all hand in glove, and all of that leads to only one place, which is Pakistan.
Well, look, yes, but I think you should go back to the genesis of these jihadists. Ultimately, it was the U.S. government and the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency that brought in religion in this sort of combatant mode in recent times, when the Soviet occupation troops were in Afghanistan. And from that, I think you had all kinds of groups germinating from that particular campaign, successful campaign, including Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda, if you realize, I mean, what's her name, was essentially, a CIA invention. So now it's coming back to bite America and the rest of the countries in this region in the backside. Because once you use religion in this way, you have, in a sense, uncorked the genie. The genie who is coming out of the bottle, and then he is creating mayhem. And this is what happens when you fool around without really knowing what it is that you're handling. And that was the case with the Americans. Now, that's past. But you see, there is that continuum. There is the American complicity right through. And people even now claim that the US has links to most of these guys, including the Islamic State Khorasan. So we don't know what to believe. But the fact is, once you get into the situation, the Haqqani network is obviously the most militant of the Taliban groups, and they are based in Quetta. So they are basically the Quetta Shura that the ISI have nursed over time. Yes, there is the direct connection with Pakistan there. And of course, the Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba have obviously the Kashmir connection, and therefore the ISI handling, handlers who have, in a sense, mobilized these cadres and supported them and so on. So there is such a multifarious situation. I mean, who are you to blame, really? Who can you blame? I would blame first who started it, and then down the line. But of course, what has happened is you have, once you, as I said, uncorked the jihadist genie, from the bottle, now you have a situation where the Khorasan are saying that the Taliban, who have taken and are hoping to put in place the Amirat that they're talking about, are not extreme enough. This is what happens.
Right.
Once religion comes into international politics or any politics, the more extreme you are, the more you're going to have credibility with those people who believe in the basic things. So this is the problem. And I think, the entire region is in a terrifically difficult situation.
Absolutely. It's mistakes by some or decisions, deliberate or not, by some have now put at least this entire region and now in jeopardy, Lieutenant General Gurmeet Singh. But as far as Pakistan's role is concerned, we've seen multiple times, even in the last 1 week or so, where either, support has come to the fore for Taliban, or we've seen comments come in from the establishment of the civilian government there in Pakistan, which has come out in support of Taliban. So, like we've been discussing, the tacit support of Pakistan to Taliban back in the 90s or back now is no secret, and it is time for the world to wake up to that and call out Pakistan.
Absolutely. I think you're dot on. And the bullseye of the blame actually goes to Pakistan. Let's be definite about it. There is no ambiguity about this aspect. In fact, let's face the fact, Taliban was raised by them, funded by them, supported by them. And if you look near the date, the Taliban offensive which was there, 13 terrorist organizations and 20,000 fighters from Pakistan had participated in this. Straight away, the Special Forces soldiers from Pakistan participated in this. In fact, the blame is so centralized on Pakistan that I would say that they have been following their state strategy of terror proxy. They've been going by the direction of lie propaganda. And they are the one who, I would say, embedded this aspect of terrorism, fundamentalism and extremism and radicalization in Taliban. In fact, even if you take the cue from what has happened at the Kabul airport, we have a Taliban who's got the hold of the Afghanistan now. We got the Haqqani network, which was in charge for the security in Kabul. And we have this suicide squad of IS Khorasan. You'll realize that all these three of them have got not only their roots, but have got the cord with Pakistan, cord with Pakistan Army and ISI. In fact, this point India has been telling the world. And if you look at the US, yes, they have had their errors, they had their failure, but the blame totally goes to Pakistan. And I think it is important for the world to understand this. Otherwise, they will not be able to wipe out this threat of terrorism. And now look at it. The weapons, the terrorist organizations, they are in with the illusion. And I would say that if the world does not understand where is the center of gravity of the terrorism, radicalization, and not only today, for decades. And I think this is one thing which the world has got to understand.
Absolutely. This new terror axis, not so new maybe, that has emerged, that needs to be recognized by the world. And as we talk about sanctions against Taliban, is it also time to sanction Pakistan? That's also a question that experts are now raising. Answers for which the world powers will have to now come up with. For the moment, I thank you both gentlemen for joining us with your perspective on this broadcast, and Pradeep with your inputs. A quick break here on this edition. Back in just 2 minutes.